Hi, my name is Craig Frazier, and I'm here to talk about reducers. Now, what I've got in front of me are three of the made reducers manufactured by Createx, and they all have different purposes, different temperatures, whether it be fast or slow. We're going to discuss this as we compare and contrast these reducers. I'm going to start over here with the 4011. Now this one is designed for a little bit hotter weather. It is a slower reducer, which basically means it has less of the polyglycol alcohol. It doesn't evaporate as fast, so your paint's going to dry slower, which means in colder weather, this one may actually take longer to dry and may actually have a problem. So you always want to be very concerned about what your temperature is and what you're spraying. Now, when it comes to temperature control and what reducer you use, it really matters with the spray gun. Not just because of the volume of paint you're using, but also because of the atomization of it. It's very, very determinant on that. I've noticed with airbrushing, I can actually airbrush in very, very hot weather and very, very cold weather, and it's not that big of a deal, but when you bring a spray gun in and moving that amount of material, you literally have to nail yourself down to a better climate. The 4011 though works really, really well. What I don't recommend using it for is don't use it in the sealers, the auto-borne sealers. Those are best with 4012. 4011 not only is much slower, but it doesn't do that key, what I call like a kick. It doesn't really make the sealer harden as well. So you should never really need to go below a 4012 when working with the sealers. But all the other base coat systems, whether it be Candy 2Os or whether it be the AutoWear paints or the other Createx paints, the 4011 will work just fine. Now, if you're working in cold weather, it gets a little bit cold. Like I said, this is good for 80 degrees and up. From 60 to 80 degrees, we're talking about 4012. It's a good medium temp reducer. This is actually my favorite reducer I airbrush with. But it's really kind of funny, even back in the old solvent days, they would make slow, medium, and high temp reducers. I always stick with the medium, and I still to this day do that. 4012 is my favorite reducer. If sometimes I'll actually combine this, if it's going a little bit too, it's really, really hot weather, I'll mix it with a little bit of 4011. You can also mix this with deionized water. Reason I bring that up, deionized water is the fourth reducer we don't have here, because we don't sell that. You can get that on your own. Deionized or distilled water. Please do not use tap water whenever, you might have great tap water in your area, but your idea of tap water might be calcium deposits compared to someone else's. The contaminants, whether they be chlorine or minerals in tap water, is something you don't want to incorporate into any paint system, and definitely not for cleaning, let alone reduction. But good deionized or distilled water can be used to temper any of these. Now, we've dealt with 80 degrees and 60 to 80 degrees. Anything colder than that, then you would want to bring in the 4020. Now, we never recommend using this pure. We recommend cocktailing it with the 4012. And I still wouldn't go below 55 degrees when spraying any system, whether it be solvent or water-based. If you have to, you have to. With airbrushing, I said it's okay. This stuff right here will really make the paint go off very fast. You have to be careful with it. And I say experiment, cocktail with either your deionized water or with the 4012. Another great thing the 4020 is great for is cleaning as well. It's such a strong reducer. It does have a red label. The difference between these two compared to this one is flammable. It actually contains acetone by compared to the polyglycol alcohol. But I'll tell you, the main component in all three of these is still deionized water. So there's the compare and contrast between these three different reducers. Hope these answered some questions, and I will talk to you next time.